Hello, guys. Welcome back to our channel. Today's message is entitled Nature Fights Back. Okay. Nature. Let's define nature. Okay. Who am I talking about when I'm talking about nature? Okay. I'm talking about the natural realm, the natural world. Okay. That includes us. Okay. In these coming years, you will begin to see the people of the planet begin to fight back against these unnatural forces that have colonialized the planet. Okay? So we're going to see an uprising all over the world with people, just fighting for their freedom. The restrictions have choked the people to the point where they're finally at a point where they have to rebel. You know, Tupac said, "I ain't a killer, but don't push me." And we have been pushed far enough. Okay? So people who usually you wouldn't expect to have courage, this climate will be pushing those people into action, fighting back for their rights, their lives, their planets. Okay? So nature, I'm referring to the people on the planet. Okay? I'm referring to the beings that reside on this planet. I'm referring to the beings who are interdimensional, that use our planet as an airport or a portal. They go to and fro from our planet. They will begin to fight back because of the destruction to their habitat, or because of the non-reverence for other beings that are amongst us. Okay? So we will see these non-beings in the form of rain, right? If you guys are not familiar, all of these natural phenomenons that we are witnessing, earthquakes, tornadoes, tsunamis, earthquakes, these are beings. Okay? These are beings. Their movements, when they, some of them, when they descend into our world, like the interdimensional ones, when they descend into our realm, or those that are from the heavens and they come down, it brings a certain amount of power and energy that causes tremendous storms, tremendous quakes and things like that. So as the children of nature, the original people, the indigenous people of this planet, right? As we begin to pray, as we begin to toil with freedom, as we begin to toil in our spirits about the conditions that we find ourselves in, and our spirits are feeling very constrained, and we begin to pray, right? I talk about prayer being a technology, an activation tool, as we begin to, our spirits begin to just toil and be very frustrated with the world that we find ourselves in. This is what causes these interdimensional beings, as well as these nature beings, to activate. They respond according to us because we are very much connected to them. We are their children, their descendants, So when we cry out and when we suffer too much and just cry out, they hear us. This is a form of technology, crying and praying. It draws them near. Okay? So to those of you who are feeling the pressures of this climate that we find ourselves living in, don't be afraid to drop those tears. Let those tears flow. Let the tears turn into rivers, okay, if they need to. All of that pouring out is what the gods, all of these deities and these different beings that are connected to us, this is what they are. This is what they feed off of. It's a form of food for them, as is blood, right? So through our suffering, it energizes them, okay? And it allows them to, when you petition them and you pray, it allows for them to answer your call. You fed them something. Your tears, your agony, your suffering, is a call for action to them. It energizes them and they can get active, okay? So they will hear your tears, hear your cries, and begin to work on your behalf to change things in your favor, okay? Like I said before, this is judgment season. We are in the season of judgment. Redemption is over. That time span has closed. We are purely in a judgment season. So I encourage all of the children who are connected to the Most High, to Earth, to the cosmos, right? I just encourage you to unleash all of your worries and fears onto paper. Write down what you want, what you would like to see change. You're going to speak the things that you want to change, okay? You will make your requests known. Through your words and through your writings, will you usher in the dawn of a new day, okay? Now, our ancestors reside in in nature, and the natural phenomena that we see, such as hurricanes, tornadoes, tsunamis, earthquakes, okay? I remember I was told that Marcus Garvey, in I guess one of his writings, he said, you can find me in the whirlwind, okay? So when we see those tornadoes coming through, we know that he is present, okay? Oya as well, a Yoruba deity, a deity of the storms, okay, of the winds coming off the coast of Africa, okay? She is present, okay? And she can bring forth some very, very destructive winds and destructive rain, as we're seeing in Florida, okay? And some of you might say, well, I ain't really trying to see people's lives get destroyed, okay? One thing you have to know, though, is that some people are born for sacrifices. They've come just for this moment, right? To energize the gods, right? And also when they pass on, they go to the ancestral realm and they help the ancestors fight from where they are, okay? So we become stronger in the spirit, okay? Remember, this is a war, and there's casualties in war, okay? So as gory as it might seem to some that innocent lives are taken, you have to understand that our suffering shall not go in vain. While there are people who have been flying in this world, when I say flying, like they don't know the suffering that we know. We are the suffering people. They don't know the things that we know, and they benefit off of this system that has destroyed my ancestors, our ancestors, and ultimately are destroying us, okay? So what about you? Don't your life matter? Your life matters, right? So when we see this judgment coming down, it ain't a time to feel sorry or be like, well, damn, I I didn't want the ancestors to tear up a whole city or nothing like that. It's just judgment. It's fair. It's fair. So why would they be tearing up whole cities and things like that? You say, what benefit does that have to me? Okay. Well, one thing that I come to know now is that these colonial powers, they've not only oppressed and colonized the people of the planet, but they have subjugated and oppressed the natural realm. There's no place they haven't been. You turn on that Discovery Channel, they in the water. They put in all type of monitoring devices on the whales. They in the skies, spraying chemtrails over the earth to subdue us, to keep us in place. If you guys don't know what chemtrails is, there's some kind of chemicals they spraying. It's like for instance, this is how I compare the chemtrails. It's like if you had roaches in your home or insects and you go get you some Raid and you spray the Raid, right? For a few weeks, you won't see the roaches, right? Because this is a repellent. It keeps them away. It keeps them tucked away into their dimension. It doesn't allow them to come out. And then after a while, a couple weeks, you might see one or two appear. They coming out to check if the coast is clear, and then they might repopulate. So this is a form of Raid that they spray on the natural beings because we are organic. The stuff that they spray is like pollution to us, which controls our movements. It's like we in the zoo. So they are controlling our movements throughout the earth through these chemical weapons. Okay, so they're in the air, they're in the water messing with the whales, they're in the forests, okay, messing with the fairy kingdom. They're up over there, in the wild. Like I said, monitoring all the animals. They're collecting them for their own pets, for the zoo, and they're also by the water building resorts. One thing that I've noticed traveling these American cities, especially on the East Coast, okay, which kind of like put a bad taste in my mouth. I don't even really want a vacation, because vacation meant to me, when I go on vacation, I don't really see us there. I see them there, and they're all out in all of their luxury and beautifulness, and we ain't nowhere to be found. It's a sprinkle of us maybe there. We are the people that need to be closer to water, closer to the atmosphere. Closer to the natural world. But they got us subjugated in these projects and these little communities that they done, these little cubicle communities that they done put us in. So we done lost our minds and we got no connection to the natural world. So these storms and things are coming to recover their territory, because you can't just keep building and taking more and more and more and more and more and not putting in. And not only that, not allowing the original people to have that connection. This is a cycle of life. We all supposed to be connected in this thing. And if they're breaking the cycle of life when we don't have access to the natural realm to be able to commune with these habitats. Okay? So again, these storms will begin to come to, one, take back more land, okay, that belongs to them, right? Because what happens is when they continue to build along these shores, that has an effect on the ecosystem inside of the ocean, okay? So they're coming back, number one, for their territory, and also they're coming back to help the indigenous people, for us to begin to now regain access to the water and to those locations. Because guess what? On the East Coast, you got to pay to go to these beaches. Ain't hardly no beaches for free. You got to stay at a resort to get in these places. We need access. So they wiping out those beaches, those resorts and all of them little towns that's over there, so that we could just walk up on them and commune with them like we used to do. Okay? Because we are the guardians of the earth. We are the guardians of the water. We need access to it. There shall be no no restriction or no border or no what's the word I'm looking for? There should be nothing separating us, but there is money and just the way they got this whole system set up. Okay, so these tornadoes now. One thing I noticed in one of the last tornadoes, they targeted the banks. They came for, I believe, Bank of America in Houston or somewhere out there in Texas. The building really got pretty much destroyed. Okay? The financial system is a scam and, it's bondage. So these tornadoes will begin to come and take down their buildings. Okay? Their workspaces, they will begin to invade them. Okay? One analogy I wanted to give to that was, okay, well, actually, I'm gonna deal with that later. Let me move down my list here, okay? I just want to make you guys aware of your connection to nature and how you can talk to nature, you can communicate with nature, these ancestral spirits, and how they will work on our behalf, okay? Let's see. Okay. I told you, let me just read what I have on here and then I'll elaborate as I go. I said, we have seen the natural disasters of this year wreak havoc. Not only have humans been colonized, but so have nature and most of her inhabitants. Okay. Now, because of that, right, the animals, let me keep going. The animals in the zoo will begin to rebel as well, right? We're going to see more zoo attacks. Animals escaping, okay? We'll see the sharks in the water begin to bite more surfers or people that get into the water. We'll see them closer to the shore, okay? And as well as the other creatures that's in it. We'll see them more closer to the shore. So we'll see a lot of beaches being closed down, okay? The water creatures will eat humans, destroy ships. They'll destroy ships for sure, okay? Let's see. So like, for instance, like those wars that are being fought on water and then on land, there will be instances where the water kingdom will attack the ships so that they cannot proceed in their land attacks. Okay? We'll see a lot of that. The people will begin to fight back against the restrictions and unnatural laws. The forest and its creatures will fight back, destroying people, property. Okay. How will that manifest? Let's see. That's let's go. We're going to see increased wildfires. Okay. Trees will begin to fall down, impeding pathways in war zones. Right. So as these wars continue, for those who are the oppressors, right, they will find themselves in places where the trees will stop them from getting to their target. Okay? The trees will begin to fall down, impeding their pathways so that they cannot get to particular places on the planet that they would like to conquer. Okay? Dams will break, right? The waters want back their domain. So the dams will break. No longer will they remain in place. Bridges will collapse. Okay? Bridges over water. The water wants all of its glory back. We have for so long disregarded, the well-being. We have not been good stewards over our water. So because of this, the bridges will collapse. We will not be able to transport over those bridges. That will cause a huge, malfunction in transport of goods, with a lot of these bridges and roads being destroyed. Food and supplies won't be easily able to move anymore along these routes. Okay, so there will be some interruptions in that. Okay, wild animals attacking builders and attacking people. Again, with all this building going on, it is destroying a lot of the animals' natural habitats. So we're going to begin to see a lot of wild animals that you would see them on rare occasions. You begin to see them now living amongst humans like it's nothing, So say, like, for instance, the coyote or maybe the mountain lion who would be up on high ground, but because they're drilling in the mountains for oil, now they are forced to come down and look for new land, right? And now they're living amongst you. So now it'll be like we fighting the animals because they're going to be looking for resources and shelter, So you come home and they in your house, We seeing that right now in Florida with the alligators. They got pushed out of their homes with this storm and now they're in people's homes, And then I know also, like, I believe it's in South Africa, somewhere there. I remember seeing a documentary with these monkeys, some kind of monkeys, right? They be looting. They be going, when people go to work, they go in their homes and they be going through all their stuff. They be stealing and doing all type of stuff in these people's house, because their habitat had been destroyed. So they moved down closer to humans and now they just burglarizing the whole neighborhood, So we will begin to see things like that because of the destruction that these colonizers are doing to our planet. Okay, so let me see if I have anything else that I want to say, what you can expect to see. Let me see. Okay. Okay, yes. Okay, so I this is something else. I'll put the volcanoes will erupt to protect their domain and keep it far. Let me see. The volcanoes will erupt to protect their domain and to keep you far from it. Okay, and then it says, our planet is home to many inhabitants, and these natural habitats, right, the water, the volcanoes, the mountains, the hills, the forests are their domains and their airports. Okay, so just like we have fancy homes and workspaces with security features, right? Ring camera bell, so do they. If you come close enough to their sacred space, like your home is your sacred space, okay, they will attack you. So we have to begin to put out the awareness, but I'm sure these people know this, they've been conquering the world for so long, like they're aware, they know what's out there. You know what I mean? I just think that this message is more so for the everyday person, just becoming more in tuned and aware of the planet that gives you so much, our mother, reverence to our mother. Everything that you see around you come from her, from your table, from your furniture, from your car, from your laptop. Everything comes from her and her worker bees or her worker beings that work, around the clock to produce, fruit on this planet, produce all of these goods. You know what I mean? So this is for the average person, just having that awareness that you have a mother, that you stand on top of her. She is your stability. She ensures that the ground beneath you is stable, and she provides you with your daily needs, okay? So this is for you to have awareness and to begin to just show some respect, to also spread the word to anyone that you know of us, just, being more kind to our planet, caring about our planet, perhaps us getting back to activism on behalf of our planet, okay? Doing the spiritual work necessary to ensure her well-being for not only ourselves, but for all the inhabitants on the planet, okay? Yeah, this is our home, guys. And we're just sitting back going, people going to work, going to school, living in society. Meanwhile, there are wars going on all over our planet. And you think that you're not affected by the big old holes that they're leaving, the craters that they're leaving in the earth. You know, they're bombing our mother, and we're just sitting back, you know, like, oh, this isn't happening to us. No, if it happened to your mother, it's happening to you. You know, you are directly, remember, we are directly connected to her. Okay, there's stories about our bodies being dirt suits. We come from that. So if they are bombing her and leaving gashes in her, that's what's happening to you. Okay, so this is a call for humans to have a voice in what's going on all over our planet. Okay, and again, sometimes it's not going out marching or even going and asking someone to stop. It's strictly, you know, just being tired and communicating with the natural realm, giving them the power and the energy that they need to work. You know, let them know we concerned. Let them know that something needs to be done, and they'll answer the call. Okay, so again, let me see. I wanted to really drive home on how we have homes and we have workspaces, right? Now, all the legends and all the myths, you know, all the mythology, there's always, you know, the mountains, the mounds, the water, where the gods or extraterrestrial beings or deities, angels, whatever you want to call them, this is where they reside. So we can't just go about just, you know, lollygagging in their space, you know, and not having regards for it, you know, even coming within like 1,000 feet. It's like we would feel some kind of way if all of a sudden we woke up and we started seeing, we go outside our door and we see thousands of possums or something just hanging out, and they don't plan on moving. Or how people feeling right now with all the Haitian people or all the different immigrants coming from different countries and inundating their cities. You would feel like you attacked. It's like an invasion. Or just simply you being in your house and all of a sudden you got some kind of insect infestation. You feel like you being invaded. What you gonna do? You gonna go in attack mode. You getting ready to go get that raid, that spray. You getting ready to go call them people that catch wildlife animals, and you gonna take care of the situation. So these beings feel the same way that we feel when we go into spaces that we have no business going into. They call it exploration. These beings call it invasions, invading their space. You know, there's a reason there are boundaries between our world and their world. It's a reason. You know, the boundaries are there for a reason, and we must respect them. Otherwise, we will see great devastation among on our planet. You know, towards the humans, they will be fighting us. They will be. You know, obviously, if you are guardians of the earth, you will be protected. But for those who may are not guardians, and they just, you know, lily-nilly just go about life because they just a part of the system, then, you know, you very well could be included in those disasters. So be on the right side of things. You know, speak up, speak out, pray, and yeah, let's just do better by our planet. Let's raise well-informed children, well-informed societies. That destruction will very much be near if we have no regards for the supernatural world. So this is a cautionary message, and also a message and a call to activation for those who are landlords, okay? Landlords and medicine men. Guard your planet. Guard your planet. It is yours. Fight for it. Just don't sit back and let these colonizers do whatever they want to do. You know, while you sit back because you thinking it ain't in your backyard, that it's all right. activate, get busy. That's the message. I hope it was clear. Hope I wasn't long-winded. I like to be more organized, but sometimes I just have to, give it to you how it comes to me. But hopefully this was informational and you can use it. Peace.